The 1980s was a revolutionary time for gaming. Consoles were pushing the limits of technology, creating whole new worlds for us to explore. But which machines really defined the decade? Today, we're counting down the top 5 consoles of the 80s, with a look at their specs and iconic games. Let's dive in. Released in 1985, the Sega Master System is at number 5 and was Sega's challenge to Nintendo's dominance. It packed a bit more power than the NES. The CPU ran at a staggering 3.58 MHz. It had 8 kilobytes of RAM and 16 kilobytes video RAM, which allowed 32 colors on screen. Top games included Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Shinobi, and Phantasy Star. The Master System had a sleek design, smooth scrolling graphics, and Alex Kidd became Sega's mascot before Sonic. While it didn't topple Nintendo, it won hearts around the world. At 4 we have the legend itself, the Atari 2600. Released in 1977, but dominating the early 80s, this console was the gateway drug for many gamers. It had a CPU that ran at 1.19 MHz. It had just 128 bytes of RAM, yes bytes, not even a quarter of a K of RAM, had a 160 by 192 resolution, limited color palette, 2-channel sound, and yet was wanted by every kid for its games such as Space Invaders, Pitfall, Adventure, and River Raid. Simple graphics, clunky joysticks, but magical. The Atari 2600 proved that gaming wasn't just a fad, it was the future. At 3 we have what is technically a computer, but in the 80s, the Commodore 64 was the gaming machine for millions. Launched in 1982, it had impressive hardware for the time. The CPU ran at a fairly slow 1.02 MHz, had just 64 kilobytes of RAM, and had 16 colors. It did, though, have a legendary SID chip, which gave 3-channel synth sound. Top games included The Last Ninja, Impossible Mission, California Games, and Summer Games. That SID chip sound, iconic. And while you had to wait forever for games to load off cassette tapes, when they worked, it was pure joy. At 2 we had, in the UK, the ZX Spectrum, which ruled the playground. Released in 1982, it wasn't just a console, it was a phenomenon. Its CPU ran at a blistering 3.5 MHz, had 16 kilobytes of RAM as standard, but also came in 48 kilobyte versions too. It had an amazing 256 by 192 resolution, with 15 colors. Top games included Manic Miner, Jet Set Willy, Dizzy, and the immortal Chucky Egg. The Spectrum was quirky. Those rubber keys, the screeching cassette loading sounds, and the classic blocky graphics. But it gave us Manic Miner, and that's all we needed, despite having a tendency to combust. And at number 1, no surprise, it's the Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in 1983 as the Famicom in Japan, it hit the US and Europe a bit later and changed gaming forever. The CPU ran at 1.79 MHz, only had 2 kilobytes of RAM, had graphics of 256 by 240 resolution with cutting-edge 48 colors, and came with 5 sound channels. Top games included Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Mega Man 2, and hundreds of others. Some are still being released, but will never beat the originals. Super Mario Bros. Wasn't just a game, it was a revolution. The NES became a household name, setting the standard for console gaming. And with Zelda and Metroid, it was pure magic. So there you have it, the top 5 gaming machines of the 80s with the specs and the games that made us gamers. What was your first console? And which game do you still think about today? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more 80s nostalgia. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time right here on I Survived the 80s.